convince others. That's not even 1 day less. 120 credits means 120 credits, not even 1 credit less. Otherwise, we cannot graduate. So meaning that it's all or nothing. If you fail to get 1 credit, you have only 119, you get nothing. So instead of time-based, maybe we want to consider now moving into so-called competency-based education, more of like a mastery learning kind of concept. If you have not mastered that particular skill, if you can only see, we don't accept. You must get an A. Well, this kind of, really, you cannot compromise in terms of the competency, the core competency that you have set out. Then only I will try to link this to so-called micro-credential or digital badges. These are two terms that are being used interchangeably. And then the concept of stackable credential, okay? For your information, this is my first face-to-face physical session since PKP. Yeah. So I was very excited because I thought I can stand on the stage and hold a microphone and walk around. That's why I'm sure you all do best, you feel you're in your element and walk around. But still I have to sit down, but never mind. Well, now, before anything, I want you all to experience it first. Before I talk about micro-credential, let's experience it first, okay? You feel what is micro-credential, what is so-called online module, and then I think after that, it will become easier for you to understand and clear. So now, you can see the picture there. We have one of the most powerful computer in the world in our hand. So let's use that. So if you are working on your laptop or you are checking your email or whatever now, I would like to get your attention for a few minutes. Now, can you go to your phone or your laptop? You have the laptop or tablet, whatever. Go to the browser and type the address there shown on the screen. And this is the small so-called module. a small module which can be completed within a few minutes. And this is my own module, of course. And I want you to experience this module on your phone. Okay, so once you go there, just put a password 1234. Of course, that's not a good password. I know the ICT boss is here. What kind of password is this? And then I will give you a few minutes to experience this. Just browse. Just click Start Course. Then just browse. I leave it to you to browse. So I'll just keep quiet for 2 minutes. Please give it a try, because I want you to experience and how it looks like on the phone. You can click the video if you like to listen to the video. So this
Jadi if you
yeah, okay. Yeah. Huh? Yeah, if you have a laptop, you can look at how the module looks like on the laptop. But at the same time, maybe you want to try also on the phone, because I want you to see, because 99% of the online students will access the learning content actually from the phone rather than from their laptop. So that's why it's very important for you to experience this on the phone. Yeah. So I'll give you another 1 minute before we proceed. And let's see at the end of, you can just go to the last lesson. Yeah, there are 9 lessons there, and see whether you can make a jam after you complete the module. Yeah, the quiz. There are two questions only. Three questions. So try to attempt the quiz and see whether you can get 100% or 80%. The passing mark is 80%. Then if you pass 80%, you are considered competent. Then I'll give you a recognition in the form of digital badge. Okay. Boleh repeat? Yes. Boleh. I designed this module to allow you to repeat until you have reached a level of mastery. That's basically while you are doing that, I'm trying to illustrate with this exercise. You experience how the online module looks like, and then you try to understand what is the meaning of competency-based. So in this case, I allow you to repeat until you can, and repeat the quiz again until you can get 100%. So meaning that I can say that now you have achieved the competency, which basically you can now do the step-by-step and produce a jam, the strawberry jam, successfully. But of course, you have to show that. You have to prepare the jam and show me that you have done the job well. Then only I can say that you have achieved the competency, and I can give you a recognition for that by giving you a digital badge. That's, ladies and gentlemen, my dear friends, what is Microcredential is about in a nutshell. So the module itself is a small chunk of a small piece of content delivered in that form. You have the video, you have the text to explain under each video. Then there's a quiz, which is a form of assessment to assess that you have reached that competency. So the module is very small. That's why we call it micro module, using the concept of micro learning. Why micro learning? Because nowadays we say that the attention span of the average attention span of adult learners is very short. So you have to cater for that short attention span by giving the content in a small chunk. We call it bite size. So when the learning content is small and can be done within a short time, we are not so worried about the motivation aspect. And then after like a few minutes, they did the quiz and they score 80%, 100%. That gives them the motivation, kind of instant gratification. So that will give them the motivation to go further. See, so that's a kind of thing. At the end, they will get digital badge, which is a form of credential. Just like we give a degree at the end of 4 years, that degree or diploma or certificate, whatever, that's actually a form of credential. What is credential? Credential is actually a form of recognizing learning, recognizing that the learning outcome has been attained, has been achieved. So micro module, micro credential, digital badge, that's micro credential is about in a nutshell. I think that's probably enough for my sharing today. Cukup lah, tak payah go further. Yeah, that's what micro-credential is about. Okay. All right. Now, you have gone through the module, right? So I assume now, if I ask you to prepare the strawberry jam now, you can do that step by step. Then you can get the product. So I must give you a digital badge now. Okay, let me give you a digital badge. So, okay, this one just, okay. So I'll give you this digital badge now. So you will display this in your portfolio, in your dashboard, okay? But, hey, this is not the only one, actually. This, you have learned how to make a strawberry jam. But there are another 5 modules here. Another module is how to make pineapple jam. So let's imagine that you go through this module. So after you have completed, you get another badge, which is pineapple jam. Another one is papaya jam. Another module is what? Kedondong jam. Another one is, can you give me mango jam? Then banana jam. Okay, done. So you have done 6 modules of fruit jam making, actually. Okay, so these 6 modules is actually fruit jam making. Now, because you have completed all the 6 modules, you bundle them together, because I have designed this to be a bundle of 6 modules. So since you have completed successfully and you have got 6 digital badges on your dashboard or on your e-portfolio, now I can give you a certificate. And this certificate is called fruit jam making. And that is where the idea of so-called stackable credential means that we stack or we bundle these 6 digital badges together, become a bigger qualification, and we call it certificate, or we can call it diploma, we can call it whatever. And it turned out, when you look at on our platform, there are actually 3 more certificates related to this. And this one is fruit jam. So there's another package, it's called fruit pickle. So ada pickle kedondong, ada pickle mangga, ada pickle macam-macam. So you go through each apa ni? Nanti sebut kedondong ada orang pengidam pula ya. Apa? So you go through the 6 module, you get 6 digital badges, you get now a second certificate, and this is called certificate in fruit pickle making. And then the last one we have was another package called Fruit Ladder. You know Fruit Ladder? Okay, tak apa. Okay. So, yeah, minta maaf saya bagi example in food because I'm food technology background. So now imagine you now end up with 3 certificates. Now we can put together, stack these 3 certificates. You have 18 digital badges, 3 certificates. Now you stack them and you get, belum diploma lagi, advanced certificate. Advanced certificate. Cepat je dia dapat diploma. Advanced certificate in fruit-based products. And I can design this further to have a series of advanced certificate, or maybe another series of, I call it professional advanced certificate, and so on and so forth. And then if the students go through all this, and then they stack them up all together, I can make it as a diploma now in fruit processing, something like that. Fruit, not food, fruit-based products processing. And then I can go on until I can create a pathway to a full degree. So that's basically, nak cerita ni, itu je cerita dia. Basically micro-credential is how we now restructure, how we deliver our academic program now in the so-called modular format. So now the bottom line is, we can now make the whole program, curriculum for the program to be very flexible. The bottom line is about moving from time-based rigid program into a flexible program. Because we talk about flexible education, all this while, kat mana yang flexible? Where is it that we can do the flexible education? Okay. Before micro-credential, how do we make the education flexible? We have ODL, open distance learning, kan? That will provide a second channel for people to come into the system. But other than ODL, so micro-credential to me, that's why I always say that micro-credential is a game changer in the next 10 years in our education, because that will allow us really to deliver our curriculum now in a very flexible manner. So if you talk about fluid curriculum, dynamic fluid curriculum, the enabler would be the micro-credential. And we don't have to wait anymore because MQA has launched the guideline for micro-credential recently, and we have done the briefing. I don't know whether you follow that briefing or not. So basically, nothing to stop you now. You can roll out, you can start to roll out the micro-credential flexible program from now on. So imagine if I were the student in this case, I get now the certificate and the digital badges. So on the students, so this is what we call stackable credential. So basically I have covered the gist of my sharing today from this example already. Okay, the rest I would expand kind of the concept, the philosophy, and the why. And not so much the how. The how actually in USM, we have 3 series of bengkel, 3 days. Not back to back, tapi kita ada 3. For any micro-credential team nak embark on the micro-credential, they have to go through these 3 full day bengkel. Barulah dia betul-betul jadi master. Baru boleh buat. Sebab, to be honest with you, if you want to embark on this, the learning curve is there. So I don't want to paint a picture yang ini adalah mudah untuk dibuat. Yang itu the mindset kena betul. Because if you feel the value in doing this, so you have to be prepared to go through that steep learning curve. But as in anything in life, you know, once we go over that learning curve and we have the momentum already, so the rest will be faster and easier. So we just ride on the momentum. Okay. So now, as a student, how do I see it on my side? So I have a so-called my e-portfolio. So any piece of learning that I do, any digital badge that I get, it will be displayed on my dashboard. So you can see here, example. So this one student here, and you can see this is a very good student because you can see the digital badges down there. Wow, ada banyak digital badge there. It's a real lifelong learner here. Uh, and the digital badge shown there is actually a real digital badge from Microsoft. And you know that you can get this badge, everyone can get, because Microsoft offer free module on their website, how to create formula using Excel, macam-macam lah. But a small module each, and you can get this digital badge. So, and then the issue that people ask, wah, kalau macam tu senang lah orang, we can get a digital badge from anyone, any provider, then maybe how do you know that is real, is genuine, it's not fake? Even the whole degree also people can fake. What's more, these so-called small digital badges. That's why the technology comes in. We have now the blockchain, which is the technology behind the cryptocurrency, right? So, no, behind the Bitcoin. Yeah, cryptocurrency lah kan. So, our boss ICT here, don't worry, our digital badges that we are using in USM now, we have the blockchain behind it. So meaning that, okay, one of the characteristics of digital badge, it is portable and shareable. Meaning that I can display all this digital badge on my social media, for example, on LinkedIn. Then when people go to LinkedIn, let's say employer, they put some keyword to search for the right, the candidates for the job. And let's say they come across this one, then they say, okay, this guy nampak bagus ni, kan? Tapi betul ke digital badge tu fake or original? So what that person need to do? Just click that one, and it will go through the blockchain, and then it will say verified. I'll show you the example later. But at this point, basically, I think probably I hope you have got some idea what is Microcredential in a nutshell, yeah. Okay. Now, if you are like me, of course you are not like me, but I've been doing online thing for perhaps as long as I remember, starting from my PhD until I joined USM, so probably more than 26 years in USM now doing online. This is one example of online learning platform, Udemy, very popular. And you can see there, they have more than 100,000 online courses. I'm teaching 2 courses here on Udemy. Anyone can teach here for free, and you can earn. Realistically, you can earn living by just teaching full-time online. And I have proven that point. I earn some money from this, teaching my 2 courses there. But of course, right now, I don't really need that money, kan? Tapi, kalau, no lah, I mean, awak bunyi, lain macam bunyi dia. Don't do that. Okay, but, no, what I'm trying to say here, if I retire, I can really full-time here, and I can top up my pension, kan? Kan apa ni? All right. Okay, now, I want to prove a point. I want to ask you a question. Okay, case study. It is my own case study, a case in point. About 2 years ago, I suddenly, I wanted to learn about how to do stock trading. Yeah. Personally, I don't like to talk about money. I knew zero about stock trading, zero, But because my children, they are doing part-time doing stock trading. Because they are my daughter is in accounting, my apa semua accounting punya area. So dia kata, "Abah, try lah stock trading. It's very exciting, you can make extra money." And so, I don't really need that money. Like kata Abika kan. Tapi they don't keep pestering me. Dia kata, "Abah, best sebala adik buat a few thousand profit." Oh ya ke? So I don't have time lah. Tapi tak apalah. So after they pester me for some time, I thought, okay, Abah will try to learn on my own. Online. So what I did, I went to Udemy punya platform tadi. I bought 4 or 5 courses. So this is another exercise that I want you to do now. So please be active. So please go to your browser and type Udemy, Udemy, udemy.com. Okay. So let's do this exercise together. Dr. Janurin. Okay, all right. So you should get to this platform. Okay, so I want you to type stock, S-T-O, search S-T-O-C-K, or stock trading lah. Stock trading pun boleh, or stock pun cukup. So let's see how many courses are there. Huh? Oh, yeah. Oh, 16175. Ini saya pun baru try ni, so I don't know. I terkejut. Yeah, by the way, the first one though is one of the courses that I took. Yes, the complete foundation stock trading course. And wow, you see bestseller kan dia kata kan? Memang best, course ni memang best. So I took these 4 courses. It took me about 3 months because busy kan. Dan motivation is not really there. Tapi sebab tercabar dengan anak saya, dia kata, Abah, I actually challenged them. I said, I will learn online and I want to show you that I can learn by myself and I can do stock trading. And true enough, after 3 months, I opened a stock trading account, account to buat stock trading. Then I took 2 days leave. I took 2 days leave because I don't want to kacau waktu office kan. And I did 3 trading. The first trading, I made a profit. You know how much? 25%. 25% profit. Dollar and cent? Oh, okay. Okay, my modal is about 3,000 ringgit only. Okay, 3,000 ringgit tak berani juga kan?
Although you don't need the money lah.
I don't need the money. Alhamdulillah. Okay, the second trade 11%. The third trade was also about 10-11%. Then I stopped. 2 days left. Then done lah. Then I stopped until now. But I just wanted to prove a point that this is what later on I want to talk about learning on demand. Just in time, just enough, and just for me, very personalized. And you see, on this platform now that you are looking at now, this what is basically these days and in the future, online learning is about. If I want to learn about stock, learning on demand, so I just go to this platform, I just search the course, I pay, then I learn. Okay, flexible, self-paced. When I have the mood, I have the motivation, I learn. So it took me 3 months, and finally I have enough confidence to start trading. And I personalize for me, just for me. I don't care about other courses here. They have about 100,000 courses here, but just enough. Currently, I want to learn about stock trading. I don't care about cake, baking cake or whatever, right? Just for me. I personalize it for my own use. That's learning on demand, LOD. Just in time, just enough, just for me, very personalized. That's basically, my dear colleagues, how education is moving now towards, in the future. If we don't understand and we don't see what people are doing now as far as online education is concerned, we are actually underutilized our capacity. We are still confining education within the physical boundary of the university. That's, to me, such a waste, because we have the expertise, we have the knowledge, and yet we are educating within the confine of the university's boundary. Only a certain number of students. If you teach 1,000 students all these years, after so many years you are teaching, but if you can scale that up by a factor of 100 or 1,000 or 100,000, can you imagine that? How you can spread knowledge far and wide, all over the world. And that's the reality. And I'm talking from a personal experience. I will show you my YouTube channel, which probably soon will reach 1 million views from more than 180 countries around the world. And we'll share with you some of the feedback that I get from students, from learners, students, from lecturers teaching the same subject in food technology, telling me how they appreciate my video and so on, and how they use in their own classroom and so on. A consultant in the palm oil industry using my video on YouTube for their consultation and so on. And they are so appreciative. They send me chocolate. They send me a lot of things from all over the world as a token of appreciation. That's basically what we should be doing now. We have to step out from the boundary, the physical boundary of our classroom. I use this term, secret garden. You know, our classroom, we treat our classroom as a secret garden because what happens within the four walls of the classroom is between you and the students. Even when someone try to peek into your classroom, then you start to feel, yeah, can I help you? You know, when someone is speaking to your classroom, then you rasa macam, you know, I don't know, worry that people will see what you are doing in the classroom. So another, I'm not actually going through my slides sangat lah, but I just make it as a more like a the realization. Yeah? When we treat our classroom as secret garden, to me sayang. If you've been teaching for so long, kan Dr. January what 28 years in UIA. I'm about 26 years. Tapi kalau kita count the number of students that face to face berapa? Tak sampai 5,000 pun kot, or maybe 10,000. But if we just multiply by 10 or 100, can you imagine that? Yeah. So these are the things that, satu lagi, have you thought about your teaching being peer reviewed? All this while research, publication has been peer reviewed, right? And that system is so good that when your paper get published, it has reached a certain standard because it has gone through the rigorous, hopefully rigorous lah, peer review. Nowadays saya rasa tak macam rigorous lah. Ya, PhD student pun boleh jadi reviewer kan. Dulu kan 20 years ago kalau dapat jadi reviewer, wow kan. Satu school boleh tahu, satu department dah, jadi reviewer kan. Anyway, but have our teaching been peer reviewed? Not only kita punya ni, not by NQA lah, not by the auditors. That is not to me a peer review. Peer review is from the real people, expert in our area from all over the world that look into your content, look into your delivery, look into your assessment, then they will give feedback. What kind of system can do that? We cannot create a system just purposely for that. But by having your courses online, open to public, that's the best type of peer review you can get. So, I think my mission here today is to really convince you to embark on online education. It can be Microcredential, it can be blended learning. To start with blended learning, then go to Microcredential. But to me, the failure for people to do something different is because satu, they don't understand. They are not aware. Then they don't understand. Then they are not convinced. They understand, but they are not convinced. They don't see the why behind it. Why we have to do this? No, it means that we have to learn new things. We have to learn new tools. We have to spend a lot of time in creating the course. Don't you know that we have so many things to do? Don't you know that we have so much on the plate now already? And you ask us to do this? You know? Yeah, that's a common question yang saya dapat lah sebenarnya. Prof, don't you know that we have so much to do? Yeah, I know. But then think about what would be the impact of this if you do this. when you start to have your course visible online, don't you think the feedback will really help you to improve your delivery? For all you know, you have been teaching for 10 years, especially technical subject. You've been teaching the wrong concept. Possible, because I have seen it. I have seen it by accident lah. Lalu dekat lab, dulu saya mengajar khusus tu, kemudian saya tak mengajar lah, bagi dekat lecturer lain. So kebetulan every day I have to pass to the lab to go to my room. So khusus tu kita dah mengajar berapa lama lah sebelum di take over kan. So practical lah, lab. So bila you dah expert kan, you lalu you tengok macam tu je kan. Tengok macam tu je you dah tahu dah. There's something wrong there. The technique is wrong. Kan? Then you stop and you ask the student. Tengok juga lah kalau lecturer yang in charge tu ada kan. Takut nanti dia rasa. Secret garden kan? Secret garden. Don't look at my secret. So I ask the student, what are you doing? Oh, I'm doing this. So do you get good result or not? Reproducible or not when you repeat? Dia kata, oh, that's a problem. Prof. Dia kata, tak dapat result. Sekali dapat. Macam ni sekali dapat. Dia punya standard error dia. I know why. So let me show you. Demo. Let me repeat 3 times and see the result. Kan? Itu baru expert betul kan? Why? Then I have to go and see the lecturer lah. I have to talk. Do you know why? You're not there to watch the student how to they do all this. Macam mana? You bergantung pada lab technician. Imagine this student will graduate and work in the lab mana-mana, ataupun dia jadi lecturer pula, teach the student. So this is real tau. This is real, especially for technical kind of subject lah. So secret garden lah, because of the secret garden. But now let's say I make a video of that and put on my YouTube. This is how you do the thing. Then wrong thing lah sebenarnya. Then someone kata, actually you are showing the wrong technique there. Oh my God. Yeah, then only you discover after 20 years teaching. So this is something real. So panjang cerita tu. So now after 3 months, I managed to do stock trading successfully. 25%, 11%, 11% profit. Tak sempat rugi, tak berani. Tak sempat rugi, tak cuba lagi dah. So tak sempat rugi, 3 kali trade, 3 kali successful. But with that knowledge, perhaps still very basic. 3 months, 4 kursus online. But the question is this, can I get some form of recognition for my learning and competency in stock trading yang saya buat online tu? Who can recognize me? Can I go to, katakan UITM School of, apa yang buat, investment ni lah. Can I get some form of certificate? Because, I've managed to trade successfully. Tapi I took online. Can I get a digital badge? No, cannot. Now in the current setting now, it's not impossible. It's not possible. We don't have that kind of So this is where micro-credential comes in. Okay. So the concept of micro-credential. So let me ask you: have you ever learned anything useful from YouTube? Siapa nak kata no? Have you ever learned something useful from YouTube? If no, please angkat tangan. So we have learned something, right, from YouTube. I have learned a lot from YouTube. So is it possible one day people can get a degree just by creating a playlist of video and dia tengok ada satu curriculum, bachelor of something or diploma or something from one university, dia pun go through the curriculum, then dia cari YouTube video dekat YouTube, collect semua jadi playlist, then dia go through sampai habis. Kemudian dia pergi kat universiti tu, okay, I want to enroll as a student, but I don't want to go through the 4 years because I have gone through the YouTube video. I just sit for your exam, the same exam that you give to your student, first year sampai final year. If I pass, can you give me the degree? Then universiti kata, oh no way, we don't have such a system. Kan? Why? If you say competency-based, if I can prove that I can pass the exam with flying colors just by watching the YouTube and do all the assessment and so on, why? because I'm competent already. But the system doesn't allow that, right? So, but it is possible. People will, go create a playlist and, learn and get the competency. Ini ada satu kartun ni very very interesting ya. Di dalam operating room, so the patient there ask the doctor, before you operate on me, can I ask you from which you graduate? Then the doctor kata, oh YouTube je. If you were the patient, what would you do? Bingkas bangun dia. Oh no, I'm okay already, don't operate. Dandan ni baik. Okay. Okay. So, but I'm sure you have seen this story a few years ago. YouTube trained dentist fine, and she has been practicing, and Pong kata kind of running a clinic, buat apa semua, all those quite sophisticated dental filling, maybe apa tu, whatever lah, kan? Braces, buat braces apa semua. Until she was caught by the authority, then it turned out that she doesn't have any formal qualification, formal degree. So orang tanya dia, where did you learn it? Oh, from YouTube. From YouTube. So YouTube dentist, but nobody suspected because dia macam real dentist. So bila I baca ni teringat, saya ada buat sikit yang gigi dulu. Then suddenly bila nak pergi balik, dentist tu dah tak ada dah. Katanya dah migrate ke Hong Kong. So agaknya betul ke dia ni? Okay. So the question here, kata this girl, katalah dia kata, okay, I tak ada formal qualification, now I go to USM dental school. Dia kata, okay, I will sit for all your exam, all your assessment. If I pass, can you give me a degree or not? No. Dia kata, oh no way. So dia tanya balik, why can't I be recognized? Dia kata, dia tanya balik. I show all the competence, just maybe even better than your fresh graduate. Why can't I be recognized? The same story, another story here. YouTube, Julius Yigo ni, she's a silver medalist dalam Rio de Janeiro punya recent punya Olympic. So bila ditanya, dia kata, wow, please share your success story. Dia kata, oh, I learned this javelin punya skill through YouTube. I don't have a formal coach, formal trainer. So it is possible. It is possible to say that in the world of where knowledge are there, in the internet, people can learn on their own. Learning on demand. So if that is the case, kita tanya balik pada diri kita, what value now I bring to the classroom? If students now can learn just about anything from the internet. Betul tak? So ini satu persoalan yang saya rasa kalau kita be very honest and very truthful, if you are doing the same thing, or for the last 20-30 years, macam Albert Einstein kata, you do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. Yeah. So because learning now is ubiquitous. Learning because of short attention span now, people prefer to learn in bite size, in small chunk, just like macam tadi a few minutes of module buat jam. Okay? So orang kata apa? Perkataan yang tak begitu yang harsh, dia kata, oh, cut the crap. Just give me whatever I want. In small module, 10 minutes I can learn something. And cut all the merapu things and so on. I want to learn. I don't want to waste my time. Just give me this. I can learn something. I can get the skill. I can acquire the skill and recognize me. Give me an evidence that I have achieved that competency. That's where the digital badge concept, and so on. And this is where the concept of micro-learning. We need to leverage the concept of micro-learning. Because we need to, when we deliver our course sama ada face-to-face macam ini atau online. So if you notice that, do you think that what I'm doing here up until now is not planned? No, I plan it. I plan for you to get this interaction. I plan to have all these stories and so on because I want to capture your attention. Because I know this is the world of distraction, full of distraction. You know, you have your laptop, you have your phone, you have that tendency to hold your phone and check your WhatsApp, although you don't get many WhatsApp, but you still you still want to see, you know, that holding that become a habit already. So how do we leverage that for this millennial punya learners nowadays? We cannot continue to live in denial. Yeah. Nasib baik Tan Sri tak ada ini, tapi saya Tan Sri pun dah baik dah itu. No, I want to tell people in UIA that ini Jeff Weiner, LinkedIn CEO, dia kata this is, ladies and gentlemen, dia kata this is a moment in history when people can learn anytime, anywhere, and with no boundaries. No boundaries. So if you still prefer to stay within the physical boundaries of your classroom, then you know, we talk about growth. Growth. So growth is about doing something different every day. So persoalan tadi tu, nak cerita pasal microcredential tadi tu, how do we recognize and value the way people learn in the digital world? Because now we are now in the digital world. So how do we recognize any small piece of learning? Like, let's say you go to YouTube, you watch 3 minutes video, how to do something. That 3 minutes video is well designed. After you watch 3 minutes, you can actually perform that. For example, origami, kan? How to fold something sampai dia jadi macam tu. 10 minutes video, follow step by step. Now follow macam tu, tengoklah video tu. Oh, jadi. Kan? But how do I get the recognition for that? I can do origami now. If I don't have anything to show in the form of digital badge, then you know, anyone can make up that story. So, my dear friends in UIA, basically what I want to say and to share today is the so-called the rise of the digital credential. The way we give credential to learners now is changing. And to me, this digital credential is the next game changer. If you understand and if you know how to leverage the power of this digital credential. And as I say that, if you want to live in denial that technology is around us and drive a lot of things around us, and you still deny that, you know, the role of technology. Of course, people talk about, you know, the have and the have not. People talk about the digital divide that's still there. The gap is still there. Yes, the gap is still there. But should that stop us from start doing something? When do you want to wait until there's no gap? So I think, to me, this is my argument. That's why I say today is my narrative. You might not agree, everything, it's okay. It's my narrative that if you want to wait until there's no gap in the digital then you will be left behind. Perhaps that's a message that you want to convey to others. So in these days, people expect to work, to learn, socialize, and play wherever and whenever they want to. Okay? And this is what I have mentioned just now. Just in time, just enough, just for me. Not just in case. There. Why I put cross on the just in case? Because, again, it's my opinion, yeah? My narrative. Our curriculum 4 tahun. Don't you think our curriculum is just in case curriculum? Because when we design the curriculum, tu Diana tak setuju. That's okay. But I say this, in my opinion, I say that our curriculum 4 tahun is just in case curriculum. You know, we put stuff in everything, the courses, task, elective, blah, 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 thinking that the students would use all the knowledge, all the skill they learn during the 4 years when they go out, when they go out to work. But it turned out that they won't use hardly 20% of what they learn during the 4 years in the real work, except some profession like medical, engineering, and so on. But the rest, hardly 20%. I talked to Dato' Reza Abdoh recently, from Dato' Reza Abdoh, yang MRT, LRT kat KL ni, itu semua dia punya company lah tu. Second Bridge Penang, tu Dato' Reza Abdoh. Dato' Reza Abdoh ni bapa kepada pelakon Aiman Hakim katanya. Oh, saya pun tak tahu siapa. Aiman Hakim? Google. Oh, popular dia ni. So by the way, did I get your attention? Purposely. Susah tau nak engage orang tau. Nak talk for 1 hour, 2 hours to engage. So I must prove that I can do that. Yeah, by the way, Dato' Reza Abdoh ni, dia civil engineer. So, dia ceritalah dia buat projek Second Bridge Penang, apa ni kan semua. So, I tanya Datuk, nak tanya you, ada research mengatakan degree 4 tahun ni, you hardly use 20% pun, except for professional lah, macam engineering. Dia kata, dia kata, I dah been in this line for 10 years. Betul lah you kata, hardly 20%, dia kata. Wow, betul lah. Verified. That statement by the professional. So, Prof. So, that's why I say that kita punya curriculum ni just in case curriculum. Kita ingat, semua dia akan gunakan. But in the end, it's not. So, just in case curriculum. That's why I put, no. Maybe now we should be thinking now how we design and deliver our curriculum so that it has this just in time, just enough, and just for me kind of characteristic that I mentioned. Anytime, anywhere, learning on demand. Yeah. Just in time, just enough, kind of. Okay. And this is where the brilliance of Steve Jobs, the late Steve Jobs. You know iTunes kan? iTunes. So iTunes transformed the music industry back in 2003. Dulu, kalau kita nak dengar 1-2 lagu yang sedap, you have to buy the whole album. Betul? Di zaman-zaman itu kan. Tapi saya rasa kita lagi smart daripada Steve Jobs. I remember during the time when I was a student in USM, first degree in USM. Kita senaraikan semua lagu-lagu yang sedap ni. We went to Penang Road, to many shop there. They will record all the best song in one cassette. That's basically the idea what Steve Jobs did with iTunes. Dia kata, why you force people to buy 1 or 2 song from one full album, 12 lagu. 10 lagu tak sedap, 2 lagu je yang sedap. But you have to pay for the whole album. So dia get the music punya industry punya boss, dia kata, okay, so in the end, iTunes, meaning now, buy only the song that you want, pay per song. So, now, if you look at our program academic sekarang ni, when students enroll in the program 4 years, they have to pay for the whole album, the whole 4 years. So, just in case curriculum, it turned out that 20% is perhaps they use. So they thought, can I just buy 5 courses from your curriculum? Cannot happen now, right? Yeah. But they thought, okay, I plan only to take 5 courses, but maybe next year I will take another 5. Next year I'll take another 5. Next year I take another 5 when I have the money, when I have the time, when I can afford it, when I have the mood, when I have the motivation. Then after that, I put all these 50 courses, perhaps after 10 years, then I enroll and get a degree. Stackable kind of concept tadi tu. But it's not possible yet. So this is what iTunes idea ni, kalau kita tengok how we apply that into our so-called curriculum now, can we now unpack unbundle the whole curriculum and then offer packages that people can take. And all these packages have been mapped to the program outcome. So kalau dia ambil this package this year, another package another 2 years, another package another 1 year, 3 years, in the end they put them together, there's no question because the program, all the packages have been mapped with the program outcome. They can get credit transfer 100%. That is a scenario 1 dalam guideline microcredential yang kita baru lancarkan. Scenario 1. Ada 2 scenario lagi. Even more flexible. So, daripada situlah kita ada Spotify sekarang ni. Semua orang kenal Spotify. Pandora. Yeah. So, now you can enjoy the music on your phone and so on your apa ni. You don't have to buy the whole album anymore. That's how kalau kita boleh transform kita punya program akademik ke arah itu. Ya. So, saya rasa tak banyak soalan kot, Dr. Zainuddin. So, bagi saya lambung sikit lagi.
You never know these people.
Okay. Okay. Let me just run through very quickly. Yeah, I would like to see how UIA respond to my apa ni and see whether they can really challenge my ideas. Okay, that's good. I'm happy. I'm happy to hear that. Okay. So let me just throw to you first all these so-called ideas, and then you can ask me, and we can have a very good sparring. Yeah. All right. So iTunes actually celebrated the song, not the album. Yeah. So maknanya, okay, you buy the whole album, take it or leave it. Until iTunes came with the iPod, they said, okay, just enough and just for me. So in the iPod, I have only my favorite song. And I pay only for my favorite song, and I get the value for my money. So think about value for money, that I pay for the whole program. Think about value for my time that I pay for the 4 years. And think about the impact of that education, that 4 years, how I can use that in my real life, and whether I can serve, so-called become the nation builders with that kind of education that I received during the 4 years. So the iTunes model for education, in one of the article, the iTunes model for education and rethinking how we pay for college. There's a lot of, there's now kind of looking at reimagining the thing, how we deliver education using the iTunes model. So this is how I foresee the way I visualize or envision how education would evolve in the future. So I call it the 3 tiers of education. Yeah, and these 3 tiers would provide more options and more flexibility. It depends on the type of learners that we have. So the first tier, what I call streaming model. The streaming model is basically, think of YouTube. We go to YouTube stream the content, and we just learn. But the question is whether we can really get a full curriculum put together based on certain learning outcome. To me, still, with the beauty and the power of YouTube, I think they can only provide basic knowledge. That's the limitation there. Another one is, and this is what I think how things will evolve in the future, is what we call subscription or pay-per-view model, which is the iTunes model, meaning that I pay for only the thing that I want to learn at that particular time, just in time. And I just pay for the learning enough for that particular time, just enough. And I can actually personalize my own learning. Personalized, okay? So these are basically separating the marketable academic credential from the whole degree, learning on demand, using the concept of micro-credential. But it doesn't mean, and I'm not arguing, I'm not saying here that this would replace a university. A university will still very much relevant, okay? But if you continue to operate the university in its current form, in the current way that we deliver, then you might still be relevant, but maybe not that competitive. still relevant, but not competitive. So I'm not saying that it's irrelevant, still relevant, but maybe not competitive. So this is what, if you still want to stick to that kind of residential experience in the physical campus, you might want to enhance that campus life experience. Step up a few notches to deliver the face-to-face experience in a very different way. Very, transformation in a real sense, not just transformation as a lip service. Okay. So itulah dia basically. So the rest, I think we want to move from one size fits all ni kepada yang lebih rigid. So ini tadi saya telah katakan tadi bahawa we are still doing traditional credentialing, 4 years, rigid. Students have to wait until they get 120 credits. If they fail, let's say they go through year 1, year 2, sampai year 4, let's say they fail at year 3. That's it. Nothing. But actually they have learned for 3 years something, they have learned something, but there is no evidence. Only the transcript, but not the whole degree. Tak laku. Tak laku. So rather than that, and I would say that a degree yang kita buat, yang kita bagi pada student kita sekarang ni is actually a form of formal recognition in a formal learning environment. And it may not tell the whole story. It may not actually tell the whole story about the student. So it's still very much like a full-fledged comprehensive curriculum, just in case curriculum, rigid, micro-credential. And a degree doesn't give a true depth of one's competency. So, nak cerita sikit, macam mana kita nak offer the micro-credential. So this is where the unbundling comes in. Bila kalau dah ready nak masuk kat sini ni, you have to actually start with a good mindset that if we want to embark on micro-credential, and I discovered in USM, let's say that learning curve, perhaps we still at the 10%. And I tell you, for the first time in 26 years, I understand the meaning of stress. I live my life almost stress-free lah. I design it in such a way that I don't feel the stress. Tapi somehow this year dah mula rasa that stress, you know. And when I watch in the mirror, I see in the mirror tu, dah start banyak white hair. Tak boleh jadi ni ya. Tapi on the serious note, actually when I want to mobilize the whole of USM to do micro-credential and deliver by, the deadline is actually this month lah. We see kata, by September end, I want to see 66 courses as promised by the school online. So in my mind, duduk, tidur, makan, 66. When driving the car on the bridge, 66 kursus. How do I move these people? And you know what? The story kan, yang terlibat pasti oleh dekan untuk buat tu, some of them, very, orang kata pun teknologi ni, memang very low. You know, how to upload the video to YouTube. How do I create? How do I record? How do I? And all the question come straight to the director. Because I open the channel. I kata, I want to make it as easy as possible for you all. I want to facilitate everything. You can WhatsApp me directly. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. Thanks, son. Oh. Please take note. Seriously, until last night pun, how to create a thumbnail. Oh, panjang nak cerita ni kalau WhatsApp. So now what I do, short tutorial. 2 minit, 3 minit. Okay, please watch this video. You can do it. That's what I do. Tu I kata dekat VC, you know what? A professor, Jusa, apa-apa, I have to do this work, you know. So I just want to tell the VC that I'm doing all this. So, apa? In case I don't deliver 66 tu, you kena faham-faham sikit lah kan. Okay, very basically. Like I said, I will leave the, actually, basically, nak cerita ni, this is not easy. These are the characteristic of micro-credential. Ada cerita lebih kurang macam tu. So basically, sebenarnya, why you want to do micro-credential, apart from delivering, apart from the idealism of education, you know, widen the access of education. We want to champion the SDG for education for all, inclusive education. Yes, yes, yes. Yep. I'm all for it. Yeah. But, betul kah? Are we doing that? Are we not confining ourselves to that? Just formal education? Those few thousand of students in our campus? So if you say that you are doing SDG, you know, liberalizing, democratizing education, inclusive education, reaching out to people from all over the world, no matter where they are, whether online or offline, how much have we done that? So on the right-hand side there, actually we are talking on the left-hand side are these students that come through UPU. And this, we are talking about 30%, 70% fail to make it. So where did they go? Either to private universities, to who can afford it, or they go to work. We are talking about 70% of the population that apply to UPU every year. They go to work, but some of them actually are very good students, you know. Some maybe not so good in terms of qualification, but they are probably late bloomers, or because of the situation, you know. They should not be deprived of education. In fact, they have the motivation to learn. So where are the channels? Some will go through ODL. But ODL is still very rigid. It's still very structured. 4 years, 5 years, 3 years. They still have to pay for the whole package. If they fail halfway, and the failure rate for ODL, I'm sure you know, is so high. If they fail halfway, after they have paid a few thousand, they get nothing. So it's still very rigid. This is where the micro-credential comes in. Yeah. So basically, is this where we can bridge the non-formal or informal education to the formal education. We can create or we can build a pathway, an alternative pathway through this so-called alternative credentialing, so that now everyone can go to this those yang apa ni, the so-called in the non-formal or informal education, they can go through that path, and finally they can get formal qualification. So meaning now there's no excuse anymore, because if you can afford to buy the whole package, you can buy just one module first, pay 50 ringgit for that module. Kalau teruk sangat kan, tak mampu, okay, apa ni, then you take one module, another module, and so on. So that's how the things, and we have the FLA and FLC already as the apa ni. So basically, mungkin I will stop after this few slides, just to show you basically how to approach this. This is the existing one. Student enroll, bayarlah every semester, sampailah 8 semester, they get 120 unit worth credit hours, they get a degree. So this full-fledged comprehensive just-in-case curriculum, rigid and time-based, and this is what I call micro-credential, all or nothing. Okay, but now kalau kita buat micro-credential, what we do basically we unpack the curriculum, then we offer in packages. In each package there will be modules. So you know, people will start to kind of, okay, just like they go shopping. Okay, I'll buy this package first. Then next year I'll buy another package. So buy me please. Not buy the whole curriculum, but buy the package in that curriculum. Okay, just in time, just enough, and just for me, very personalized. So basically, just that's how you go about it. This is the how-to. So let's not too worry. If you want to ask me questions today, if what you have in mind is how to do this, how to do that, that's basically we can have another session. But the how-to is the nitty-gritty. Don't worry about that. what is more important is the philosophy, the big idea behind it, the strategic things how we can move to the next level, leveling up by making the curriculum flexible. Making the curriculum flexible. How do we flexiblekan it? How do we make it flexible? So this is how we can go through the so-called unpacking the curriculum, just like this. Yeah. And we can offer that. And we can create a pathway like this. So let's say this one is a degree. And you unpack into 5 packages here. In each package, there will be a number of courses and modules. So the student will take one by one until they completed all this, stack them up, they can get a degree. That's how, what I mean by learning pathway that we can build for anyone, for everyone. So what I'm thinking of next year onwards, and I can see some private universities are moving already very fast. They are very agile. Of course, because there's a bread and butter. Kita ni USM lah. Because kita bukan bread and butter tu, kan? Kita banyak option. But what I foresee, apa yang akan berlaku, the conventional academic program, accredited program, face to face akan terus berjalan, okay? Tetapi macam saya katakan tadi, if you are not doing anything, innovative, you will still be relevant, but perhaps not competitive. Saya tak kata tak relevan, jangan marah, kan? So saya kata, oh no, pernah saya kata kat UiTM ada satu slide tu, bukan perkataan saya pun, perkataan one of the quote yang educators in the 21st century are at risk of becoming irrelevant. Wah, tak setuju. Okay, tak apa, not my words. Okay, but what I'm envisioning is next year onwards, we have the conventional program face-to-face, but we have also the micro-credential version of that same program running side by side, concurrently. But with that micro-credential program, we can actually unpack and package them. We can offer these packages as a freestanding program untuk tujuan upskilling, reskilling, professional development, and lifelong learning program. But those packages, yang nombor 3 tu, is already mapped to the accredited program. Jadi kalau katakan the learner take the whole package, they can stack them, go to the university, can get a degree and 100% credit transfer, or 70%. Okay, that's what micro-credential guidelines sekarang membenarkan kita melakukan yang sedemikian. So I guess I have another like 30 plus slide. Let me just go through just slide je. Ini just detail je lah. Macam mana nak buat. Ini how to don't worry. Ini semua boleh dibuat dalam bengkel. Kita bengkelkan dan kita tunjukkan how do you do all this thing. Tak susah sebenarnya. Tak susah. Tapi dia makan masa. Dia tak susah tapi dia makan masa. Okay. So ini just ini nak cerita apa itu competency-based, apa itu digital badge. So you will get all this slide, yeah. Semua tu ada dan slide ini boleh digunakan seperti yang saya kata tadi untuk penerangan kepada di rakan-rakan di faculty atau anak buah di faculty. So ini yang badge yang kami gunakan ya. Kami gunakan third party badge, credible. Di belakangnya ada blockchain, so tak perlu risau lagi dah. So correctly, ini digital badge providers lah. Ya. Ini macam mana kalau kita nak buat model ini dengan industri, itu saya gunakan model yang panggil 3-stack credential framework model yang juga sedang kami usahakan. So akhir sekali, thank you for listening. So this is the only slide that you want to take the picture so that you can get the link there. If you want to download all the slides to explore further. So I guess saya serahkan balik pada Dr. Zainuddin dan kita boleh ada masa untuk Q&A. Silakan.
Okay, thank you Prof. Karim for that informative vignettes laden keluhan rasa hati sprinkle talk. Sebab dekat dalam tu kita baca ada juga dia mengadu masalah dia kat sana kan, especially when the stress
Hint.
the stress comes in kan. Well, even though encryptic in nature, tapi kita ni cepat baca benda tu. Well, okay, now we are ready for the question and answer session. So as the MC, I'm going to read you one question from our participant online. Dia cakap, ni Aizatul Hazwani, dia cakap, to learn crochet in YouTube pun still the hard thing to do. So which is to say, kalau benda yang agak simple, still difficult to do alone in that setup, how can we make learning through micro-credential easier?
Learn apa? Learn.
Macam knitting lah.
Oh, knitting. Crochet.
Cakap Melayu dia apa crochet? Mengait.
Cakap orang lelaki mana tahu kan crochet lagi.
Stop broking tau kan?
Stop. Okay. Oh, still, jadi the issue is still difficult.
Dia cakap pada dia certain small skills
Oh.
still considered difficult to learn online.
Yeah, it depends on how that particular course is designed sebenarnya. Skill-based online course ni, kita boleh design untuk skill-based as well as knowledge-based. Okay, ataupun combination of both. But it's not impossible to teach skill-based. In fact, kalau tadi saya tunjukkan tak, satu platform dipanggil Skillshare. Kalau you all tak pernah dengar, saya galakkan explore. Satu platform dipanggil Skillshare, one word, Skillshare. Has been around for a long time, based in US. Saya pun ada 3 kursus kat situ juga. Yeah. Skillshare memang fokus on teaching skill. Dan saya nak share satu cerita housewife. This housewife, dia very good in watercolor painting. Very excellent. You can actually find the course there. So many years ago, she discovered this platform ni, Skillshare dengan Udemy. Well, dia tengok, ini cerita dia lah, you boleh Google dia punya story, dia punya success story tu. Bila dia discover tu, she doesn't know anything about online learning, online course, online education. So dia tu, wow, she was impressed. Dia kata, wow, we can teach online. So then dia terfikir, can I teach online? Will people be interested to take watercolor painting online? So dia skeptical. Tapi dia kata, give it a try, no harm trying. Tapi she has zero knowledge how to create online course. But that didn't stop her. She hired someone, and that person ambil video. So dia hanya buat kerja dia je. Okay, mix this color and this how you make. Macam lah. Then that person take the video, edit the video, upload the video. Semua orang ni buat. She just pay that person. And you know what? The first month, she made, guess, how much? Dollar. USD. The first month, she made how many? How much? How many? No, dollar, in dollar. She made $8,000. She was like shocked. Wow. And now she make regularly 10 to 12K a month. Teaching what? Watercolor painting. It's possible. Kalau course tu well designed, crochet, I don't know how complex, the crochet. Kalau kita ambil video secara profesional kan, sebab dia mungkin memerlukan close up kind of, nak tunjuk macam mana agaknya lah kan. So mungkin the course is not well designed yang tu mungkin. But to me possible.
Okay. Many questions. I want you to be very objective. Kalau tidak dia belik-belik kan?
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay, I'm going to give one more question from online, then semua sini.
Okay.
Dia Muhammad Nizam asked the question, how to ensure holistic education when we do this micro-credential approach?
Well, it depends on what do you mean by holistic. That's how the professor answered the question. They throw back. The 26 years experience. And while in the head is spinning.
Oh yes, you
Yeah.
manage yourself well.
But see, on the serious note, it depends on how you define holistic and balance. So again, there's something that I always say, we have many ways, tools, strategies at our disposal. So we don't have to, when I say online, micro-credential and so on, that's not the only thing. We can actually the power of online is when we blend it with face-to-face, power of blended learning. Although I'm a strong advocate of online, but I believe, we cannot do everything online. So when we say holistic, holistic means, wholesome. We have kind of multiple dimensions of education. So we address all those different dimensions with different tools, different strategies. That perhaps some would require the face-to-face. So that's my short answer to that.
Prof Wahab? Prof Wahab and then Prof Ainul.
Okay. Prof,
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
your name, Prof?
Prof Wahab.
Prof Wahab. ICT.
Eh?
Prof ICT.
ICT.
Oh, ICT, I expect technical wise. Okay,
I will not talk about ICT. Okay, I think I have just a small comment. Tadi you mentioned about being irrelevant. My only concern is that kalau you tengok dari segi Kodak, what happened to Kodak? Because Kodak, they are not competitive, in the end they become irrelevant. So the university will be the same thing. Kalau we are not competitive, we become irrelevant. And this is a problem. So I think we seriously have to think about it and not take it lightly, as far as this micro-credential. Perhaps, maybe one concept of looking at micro-credential is to really look at our mindset in talking about degree, talking about diploma, talking about bachelor. Because what is our whole idea of education? Do we want to receive the knowledge for what purpose? Because when we talk about having to have knowledge for the purpose of living in this world, becoming, the ummah, what we want to do and so forth, So therefore, in this case here, yes, you want to make some money as a fundamental. Without making money, you will not do anything what we want to do. But at the same time here, how about your neighbors? So therefore, in this case here, it is the holistic thing that we talk about. But I am very sure that micro-credential can, in this case here, help a lot. Perhaps the concept of degree that we talk about, having to have a 4-year degree, must be changed. Don't call it bachelor, call it something else.
Yeah.
Maybe the university should not just do a bachelor.
Yeah.
So I think these are the mindset that we have to do.
Oh, lega. Sebab Prof sokong. Yeah. Well, actually, you kind of reinforce my point just now. We have to totally kind of rethink how we design the program and deliver it in a more flexible manner. The tools are there, the enabler is there already. And now MQA, selalu bila nak buat benda-benda yang orang kata out of the world ni, dia kata, MQA, dia ada stumbling block, dia MQA. Sebenarnya MQA tidak begitu sebenarnya, dia nak facilitate. So now dia kata, dia MQA preempt. Dia kata, okay, kita buat guideline supaya dia orang tak ada kata MQA. Oh, no. Now you have the guideline already.
Bagus lah. There's a question here. Is this MQA sanctioned activity? Ui, dia macam sat besi pula.
Kalau datang UIA tak ada bombastic word tak tahulah. Yeah. MQA sanction.
Some of the questions or comments that I know from the Kuliah of Education. Thank you, Prof. Karim. I think you've achieved your objective in the 2 items that you wanted to deliver today, which is giving us the answers to what and why. Actually, we are all looking forward to the next question, which is how. Because I think for most of us here, we don't longer need the convincing, but rather we want to move forward, because I think that's the way forward. But I want to just be reminded of what the conventional programs, the values of the conventional programs still have. So if we talk about the degree program, I think that nothing can complete what Prof. Wahab said in terms of the humanistic and the holistic education that any individual should get as an individual. But because of the spirit that no one should be left behind in terms of higher education, so we would like others who have been left behind because of where the background and all the obstacles in life. So we want to give the opportunity to these working people or people who have not had the opportunity to get a degree in later part of their life. But saying that, I think we also have to be, my next question, but already answered, we have to be also be practical about the programs that we already have are accredited. And we have all these bodies that say that you have to do this, you have to do that. So perhaps, okay, and then you have answered that MQA is friendly enough to accommodate all the changes that need to be done in the micro-credential programs. But perhaps we have to think beyond that, because there are so many other things that we have in terms of lifelong learning, yeah, for the purpose of lifelong learning that we have at the faculties that you want to offer for those people out there, and to upskill themselves. Yes, not necessarily the degree program packages. Yeah, yeah. So okay, thank you.
Let's give the sister.
Just a short remark. Short remark. Yes. Mungkin I don't make it clear. Micro-credential yang I tekankan in this presentation is about how do we micro-credentializekan kita punya academic program. Kemudian kita boleh offer sebagai upskilling, lifelong dan sebagainya. But you can also look at the lifelong learning program that not part of the academic program. The extension program, the personal professional development program, workshop yang selama ni dijalankan secara face to face, not part of academic program. So those actually yang lebih mudah untuk di micro-credentialkan dulu. Go for that one dulu. But in the future, kalau program-program ini kalau datang daripada academic program, tapi kita customizekan untuk lifelong learning, tapi at the same time dia dah map dengan the academic program. Jadi bila orang ambil, dia dapat digital badge and so on, and later on, kalau dia teringin pula nak take the whole package sampai dapat degree, dia tak ada masalah dah untuk credit transfer. Tapi itu boleh datang kemudian lah. For now, kalau nak get the feel how to do micro-credential, start with that courses.
So we go with Sister Yeti first, and then Prof. Nobik, and then Prof. Ida. I told you don't trust them.
Okay, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am very excited because I've always watched your webinar and so on. Yeah, I'm. So I really want to join this session because I want to see you. In personal. But I have some concern because this morning I have this. I just read our Transfer Rector article in NST. Bring back education with a soul. So when you presented these micro-credentials, you talk about customer focus, yeah, because unbundling and giving them badges. You also, I kind of like seeing you saying education is a commodity, something like that, because you can buy. I mean, it's like we are allowing the customer to pick and choose. Flexibility is in that sense. You talk about value for money. Why people spend 4 years in this university getting 120 credit hours, and that I mean kind of that. So I'm just curious. Is there a soul in this kind of micro-credential platform?
From your follower.
Expected. Kalau datang UIA kena ada soalan tu lah kan. The soul in education. And I'm also a champion of having a soul in education. And I've read many books about the soul of education, the soul of university, those things. And yeah, I guess we should be mindful that the bottom line, education is well, the learning to know, learning to to do, learning to be, learning to live together, all those things, and driven by our national education philosophy and so on, kan? And I think we should be mindful of that. Again, think about delivering. Online is just delivering, a mode of delivering what normally we do in face-to-face in another mode. And by doing that, actually we are no longer restricted by the boundary. We can reach out, we can scale up, we can create that ripple effect. So if you talk about the soul of the education, again, what do you think the impact, if you talk about impact, and Tan Sri always talk about impact, what do you think the impact of having your education reaching out millions of people around the world and address all the issue of inclusivity and so on? Of course, we know the fact that the digital divide is still there, but we can already reach millions of people around the world. If we talk about the impact, then that's the impact that online learning can bring in. The soul, it depends on, again, the way we design. It's all about design. We have to go back to basic, the instructional design and so on, where that's where come the integrity of the design. Where if you design your online course using a proper model, like a community of inquiry model, where you have the social presence, where we have the teaching presence, cognitive presence, everything. We integrate all these elements. The social presence part is where the social emotional learning element, where the soul is basically talking about the heart. I'm not very good in that, but that's what I understand from the food technologist point of view. It is possible. It's all about design. It's all about design. Okay, boleh goreng dulu kan? Boleh.
Thank you very much for your enlightening sharing. Nak tanya, dari segi perspektif MOHI from the Kementerian, how do they see this micro-credential in the future? Is it something that they will really push to the universities? Because like what you said, things will become very competitive. People may do a degree in katakanlah computer science. First year in USM punya subject, second year in I don't know some other universities, and it may even extend to MIT or Harvard or whatever. So the future, people will go for the a la carte style of picking up where they want to do things. At our ministry, how do they perceive things will happen in the future for the university to prepare or whatever?
Yeah. Prof Hobart? No, Prof Nobel. Apa ni? I think the current apa ni kata? Administration in the ministry, previous one also under Dato' Hamisa and then Dato' Asma Masud is actually a strong champion of online. That's why dalam kita punya education blueprint, shift number 9, kan? Shift number 9 is the one that will really drive the online education as part of Malaysian punya ni. Shift number 9 is globalized online learning. Saja nak beritahu chapter shift number 9 tu kami yang tulis. Kami itu USM. Saya dengan arwah Prof Hanafi. Those words dalam chapter number 9 tu, globalized online learning, is basically the work of USM. So meaning that why there is one among the 10 shift dalam blueprint, because the ministry really want to drive this online learning, especially di bawah Datuk Seri Idris dulu, knowing that if you don't now put it in the blueprint, then the policy is not there, so it won't drive this thing also at the university level. So that's a message to say that MOHI is really supporting. And not only that, now kita revise policy e-learning, the national e-learning policy, Dr. Saima. I don't know whether you involved or not. Yang I didn't involve in the Depan 2.0, but I was involved in the Depan 1.0. Depan is policy e-learning kebangsaan. So mungkin Prof involved. So those are the things that drive, that really show how serious we are in driving the online learning, online education agenda in Malaysia. And even the current one that our current MOHI dengan Dr. Wan Zuhainis there, really into championing it. And now MQA come in as part of the MOHI punya ni dengan guideline. So memang the message is, let's do it in big time. Everyone is embarking on this online. Saya rasa kalau semua universiti bergerak, Malaysia probably will be in the forefront in this region. Maybe another one is Korea, maybe Thailand. But otherwise kita juga will be among the top 3 yang really drive this thing. Cuma kat luar negara kita tengoklah, korang semua dah buat dah. Micro bachelors, micro masters, nano degree, all this thing. Dia trademark siap. Registered lagi. So kita boleh panggil micro bachelors lah. Micro bujang mungkin.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Just one simple question, Nolida from Kuwait. Apa tu nama dia for the micro-credentials? Is it just self-study ataupun dia ada interaction with the instructor?
Bila kita buat dalam bentuk online, micro-credential is basically content dalam bentuk modular, kemudian ada digital batch kan. But how do we deliver that as part untuk student dalam universiti kita sendiri, kita boleh gunakan tu as part of blended learning. Kemudian kita boleh package kan, kita offer sebagai upskilling and so on. Satu-satu modul tu kita boleh buat secara blended. Blended maksudnya di sini kombinasi synchronize dengan asynchronous tu. Berapa banyak kita nak buat synchronize dengan asynchronous tu pulang pada kita lah. Pada saya kalau kita nak bagi value yang tinggi, dia mesti ada elemen synchronize. At least 20%, 30% kalau boleh. Baru dia ada value tu. Kat situ yang baru kita ada humanizing online, soul dan sebagainya kan. USM tu.
Just 2 quick questions. My name is Ida from Law Faculty. With skills and like the video you showed us is basically how to make jam. That is very simple to turn it into a video. But with some law courses, they are quite dry and heavy in terms of content. So the unbundling can be quite challenging, right? Because you have to unbundle this into small bundle that is easy to be digested. That's one. Secondly, you mentioned that you are going to release the 66 courses this month, right? But you've been working on it for 2 years? Is that the time spent to create all these modules?
Kita mula awal tahun ni, Januari tahun ni. December mungkin. Ada setengah start December. Yang start December tu, ataupun mungkin orang start awal Januari. Last month, baru dia siap. 14 minggu punya kursus ni, ini accounting salah satu kursus dalam accounting, 100 level punya. 13 modul. Cara dipecahkan tu, jadi 13 modul, 14 minggu, 3 kredit kot. Ada 3 orang pensyarah, 3 ke 4 yang dia team teaching tu. Tapi team ni bagus. Dia itu salah satu rahsia lah. Dia kena team yang satu kepala kan. Very cohesive, very committed. Kenapa macam ni saya tahu sebab saya semua dalam WhatsApp korang. Saya ada berapa puluh WhatsApp ni. Setiap satu team, satu WhatsApp group. Jadi bila dia orang discuss ke nak tanya soalan semua dalam tu. Jadi saya tahulah how active is that group kan. Memang this group very committed. So dia orang start saya rasa yang betul-betul bulan Januari. Kemudian PKP. Tapi PKP tu dia tak ada stop. Dia terus apa kan. So dia orang baru siap bulan ini bulan apa? Bulan 9, bulan 8, bulan 7 kot dia orang siap. Bulan 7. So ikut 7 bulan. 3 orang dibahagi-bahagikan. Saya tak tahu macam mana dia orang bahagikan. Tapi maknanya okay, you ambil bahagian ni, you ambil bahagian ni, you ambil bahagian macam itulah. Kemudian kita buat training. Training ni macam saya kata tadi lah. Training tu barulah betul-betul detail macam mana cara nak buat mapping. Ini tak cerita detail ni. Kalau saya tunjuk semua nanti semua orang kata tak payah buat lah kan. Dia overwhelmed before doing anything kan. So dia kena sikit lah macam tu. So Alhamdulillah this group dengan komitmen yang ditunjukkan, dengan sokongan dekan yang sangat kuat. Ni dekan dia kata masukkan saya dalam grup ni. Dalam grup ini punya WhatsApp. Dan dia take time bila mereka ni berbincang atau tunjukkan hasil, dia kata, wah, very good, this very good. So, you perlukan ni, okey, tak apa, kita akan gunakan duit kita untuk beli dulu. Itu dia, full support. Actually, saya tak tunjuk lagi satu set of presentation, how to make it happen. Di how ni ada macam-macam level tau. Satu lagi, how to make it happen. Yang ini VC kita dengar. VC TNC. What kind of investment? Itu saya tak cerita lagi. What kind of investment? Dia, sebab tak, saya kata how tu dia kena come later. Kalau dia tak convey macam mana nak, tak payah ke how lagi dah. Yeah, the how to tu is actually where the top management kena ada. Sebab, okay, saya cerita sikit. Kita bila how to tu, satu kami ada jawatan kuasa Microcredential pada peringkat universiti yang dipengerusikan sendiri oleh Naib Chancellor. So dia kata, okay, buat satu jawatan kuasa, I will chair. Dalam tu tak ramai, dalam 5 orang je. Saya sebagai the main workhorse-nya, kemudian Bendahari, bila cerita pasal duit, okay, Bendahari, get it done. Kemudian ICT, bos ICT, okay. Saya kata, okay, kita perlukan ni, senarai software ni. Berapa ratus ribu semua tu nak beli tu. Okay, Bendahari, berapa? Bagi 300 ribu. Okay. ICT, okay, you arrange pembelian. How soon do you want the software? Oh, yesterday, Prof. Okay, make it happen cepat. Okay, these are the technical team. Okay, Prof. Ini saya cerita kat VC lah dalam jawatan kuasa. I need a dedicated technical team, but we don't have one. Kita boleh outsource daripada kami ada beberapa center ni, tapi dia orang tak boleh nak bagi kita full commitment kan. Dia kata dalam meeting tu, adalah bos-bos ni ada semua ni. Bos ICT. Of course dia kata, okay, we will support. We will support kan, tapi kita tahu reality dia macam mana. So, tak boleh. I need a dedicated team to make this happen by September this year. I tell the jawatan kuasa, if I don't have this, I cannot deliver. If you give me, I can deliver. So, okay, what do you need? Okay, pendaftar, take care. Macam itulah cerita dia. To cut the long short story. The long story short. So, those are the so-called enablers yang kita perlukan dalam bentuk jawatan kuasa tu. Dan jawatan kuasa ini bersidang, bermesyuarat setiap bulan. Even during PKP. So setiap bulan saya kena melaporkan progres. Jadi bila setiap bulan kena melaporkan, lepas habis meeting, maknanya 2 minggu lepas tu kita dah minta school, di USM kita pakai school, ataupun tim yang terlibat untuk update kami punya sekretariat. Jadi kalau dia orang tak ada benda, dia orang tak bergerak, bulan depan nak report. Jadi itulah a subtle kind of pressure, because they have to report every month. Tapi pressure tu dia trickle down lah. Sampai ke level saya, sampai ke level yang buat Microcredential. Kita share lah. We share the stress. Spread out the stress. So that's so the investment in terms of money, they kena put in some a few 100,000 first lah to start with. This year probably close to 500,000 lah. Sikit. No, seriously. Sikit. Kalau kita tengok Harvard, well, itu MOOC lah. Satu MOOC, MOC tu, satu MOOC. Dia punya apa tu, budget dia, satu MOOC $50,000 USD. One MOOC. Kita masa kita nak buat MOOC dulu, KPM bagi satu course ikut berapa? Satu universiti dapat berapa? RM5,000. Lebih kurang macam tu. So, and yet, respect. Tapi we deliver. Okay. Okay, actually, kita look start small dulu lah. So, although it's good to be ambitious, tapi kalau kita kena study dulu, kena do your gap analysis dulu, kena do your SWOT dulu. So, I ada semua tu. Tapi saya ingatkan hari ni tak payah cerita yang how to banyak sangat. So, kita buat SWOT. Ya, scared you off. Tapi saya share satu slide boleh? SWOT. Kena tanya bos. I share one slide. SWOT punya ya. You tengok saya punya microcredential punya slide ada banyak tu. So saya nak tengok yang mana satu. Briefing. Ni ke? PDF. Okay, try tengok ini. Saya pun tak ingat, banyak sangat version. Saya tak nak tunjuk dollar and cent. Orang UIA dia tak boleh tengok dollar and cent. SWOT. Okay. So, okay. Ini SWOT untuk USM So that's why you tengok ada USM. Okay, strength. Tengok kita punya capacity. So you all punya lecturers contohnya dari segi teknologi for example. Dari segi berapa ramai yang dah biasa dengan buat online. Berapa ramai yang pernah buat MOOC. Berapa ramai yang telah betul-betul buat blended learning in the real sense ya. Bukan blended learning hanya claim macam tu saja. So ini semua capacity lah. So the know-how. So kami buat bila tengok-tengok kat USM kita ingatkan kita hebat lah kan dari segi online. Tapi bila tengok tu wow. Oh ini teruk juga ni nak mula. So platform kami dah ada. Itu satu kelebihan. Kita dah ada platform. Kita tak perlu bimbang pasal nak cerita pasal buat platform and so on. Kemudian kita rasa kita leverage on kita punya USM branding. Kita USM Apex, so on. I think we have the name. Okay, weakness. Weakness kita tengok. Okay, dari segi critical mass. Kita baru realise actually sebenarnya kita punya critical mass ni taklah besar sangat. Jadi macam mana cara kita, jadi pendekatan kita. Facilities dan sebagainya. Threats macam tu juga. Opportunities. Sebenarnya bila saya buat SWOT ni saya tengok opportunities tu saya tak cukup kolom, saya tak cukup space untuk letak. Opportunities lebih panjang daripada yang lain-lain. Jadi maknanya memang banyak opportunities kat sini. Threat, jangan risaulah kan. Threat tu bila kita buat benda-benda yang baru memang ada banyak threats dan juga ni. Tapi kita rasa banyak prospek daripada yang lain-lain lah. So itulah kita kena tengok. So ini ekosistem yang pada peringkat the top management. Kami drive yang ni terus jawatan kuasa. Jadi apa-apa arahan yang keluar, kita panggil arahan yang keluar daripada jawatan kuasa ini straight kepada dekan, itulah dia punya ni. Jadi pada peringkat awal nak jawab soalan tadi berapa banyak kursus tadi, sebenarnya jawatan kuasa ini menetapkan suatu angka yang agak very ambitious. Walaupun telah dinasihatkan. Tapi ini kat YouTube Okay, so in the end orang kata apa realities apa ni gitu. Okay, inilah mampu kita buat 66 ni dibuat oleh spread over 26 PTJ. 26 PTJ. So mula-mula sebenarnya kita nak kena buat 3 kursus dulu. Itu bagi setiap satu program 3 kursus kena buat. Dan in the end bila kita tengok balik kapasiti dan sebagainya, kita rasa tak mampu. Kita kena mula kecil dulu. Start small lah. See, selepas buat SWOT tu, you should be able to decide. And then SWOT ni elok juga buat pada peringkat faculty juga. Micro kan, the SWOT. Okay. Tapi don't worry lah, ini pada saya doable. Dan saya rasa this is not an option lah. Saya rasa kena mula melangkah. Embark on this secara tak mampu besar-besaran, secara kecil-kecilan dulu. Tapi dia kena ada intentional kind of strategic ke arah itu, and then put the necessary enablers and in the support system dan sebagainya. Dan kena ada clear timeline of what need to be delivered. So kalau kita being guided by that, kemudian ada full support and push, and this is something yang saya rasa kalau the top management sekali, kalau dia tidak ada, dia kena top down lah saya rasa benda ni. Walaupun saya rasa I understand, tapi the top down, kemudian the support from bottom at the faculty level, dekan kena very strong. So kalau itu berlaku, insyaAllah boleh berjalan. Sebab saya rasa cabaran nak buat memang besar. After my experience go through ni, saya rasa memang amat tidak. It's not you cannot go into it half-heartedly. Kalau separuh hati je, you tak boleh sustain. Itu message yang saya sampaikan lah.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Karim.
I have one more question. I think 2 more questions actually. So, my first question is, when you said your platform is ready, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Emilia. I'm Emilia. All right. So I want to ask 2 questions. Number 1, when you said your platform is ready, may I know in what sense when you say that? And my second question is on the digital badge. I'm actually wanted to know which platform USM is using.
Well, I mentioned tadi, kami guna digital badge, kami guna Accredible. Accredible among the yang among the popular one lah. Kami pilih Accredible sebab dia ada blockchain. Credly dan yang lain-lain tu dia belum ada blockchain. So kita kena ada pula separate punya ni. So the cost can make the cost higher. Tapi bila kita ambil daripada satu ni dan dia dah ada blockchain, so bila kita tengok dari segi cost per batch, the overhead cost tu is reasonable. Kemudian kalau kita ambil untuk volume, lagi murah. Jadi cost tu kita masukkan dalam cost yang kita charge for the cost lah, or for the module. So kita guna Accredible. Platform untuk the whole program, kami menggunakan open learning. Saya rasa UIA pun biasa dengan open learning sebab kita buat MOOC menggunakan open learning. Dan tapi sayangnya sekarang ni MOOC Malaysia telah tak macam dululah. Tak boleh panggil MOOC Malaysia dah. Tapi tak payahlah. Tak boleh cerita panjang yang tu kan. Tapi kami masih lagi setia dengan open learning sebab open learning is evolving and become better and better now. Dan in fact sekarang ni dia orang introduce yang tadi tu dalam slide open cred. Dan they are now integrating pula yang ni, they are integrating Accredible masuk ke dalam platform tu. Lagi bagus. And that will make it even cheaper kepada kalau kita nak gunakan digital badge. So kami gunakan open learning. We are very happy with open learning. We get full support. And tadi kita ada MOA dengan open learning lah on this one. Tak free. Jadi bila kita buat program ni sebagai partnership dengan open learning, they provide the platform, everything. So whatever orang kata apa, the revenues, the income generation from this program will be through, the business model is through profit sharing lah. Profit sharing, yeah.
Okay, is that all? Okay, thank you, Prof.
Okay.
Karim, for a very informative talk. I don't know, it depends on the director of KCA. If needed, dia akan jemput lagi, and we have that last bit that you do not want to share yet today. The how to eat, kan? Okay. We would like to record our gratitude to those who are viewing this online and also those who are present in this Senate Hall today. Thank you very much. That's the end of our program. We adjourn.